We are live on a special edition, very special edition. Got a phone call from my guy Sticks, and I can't let this guy down. Unfortunately, he got knocked out of the softball playoff, so he had to come back with some vengeance and put out our draft preview show for 2022. We're going to take a look at his season-long rankings that we're in the lab for the last couple of weeks putting together half-point PPR, full-point PPR, standard leagues, if anybody's still playing those things. And we're going to go through our mock draft where I'll be drafting out of the 4-hole. He'll be drafting out of the 10-hole. And we're going to give analysis and more so a draft guy on how to build and craft that team and go round by round and really try to give you our insight on how to draft, how to look ahead to future rounds and everything like that. If you haven't checked us out at windailysports.com, we have a free promo going on right now where you can go in there and lock in for a free month and get access to Nick's, season-long rankings. He's got notes on a bunch of players, got everything from 1 to 200, built out, and he goes bold as you scroll through here. He's bumped Saquon up to number 9, 15 spots ahead of the ADP. And we'll go through all this and really, get you where you need to be prior to your drafts. Derrick Henry, 16 spots lower than the industry. So we'll talk about some of these plays. Guys we're fading, guys we're going to go out there and actively try to get early in drafts. And if you want to lock in and see these season-long rankings that are going to be way different than anybody in the industry right now, use promo code STIX22 and get a free month to lock in and use these rankings. Also, use our projection models for DFS and MLB, PGA, NASCAR, MMA. Everything else is going down right now, and definitely roll in during the NFL season as well. So, Sticks, where do you want to start this thing, man? You got the 10 slot. I got the 4 slot. Let's talk about round 1 first, man. Are you going best available on your board? Like right now, if I'm in the 4-hole and let's say Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, and Christian McCaffrey are gone, are you just going Dalvin Cook, or are you playing it a little bit differently?
I think for PPR, again, this is only, draft 2 of the rankings. I think me personally, if I'm you, I'm going Justin Jefferson if he's there. I love Kevin O'Connell. He's obviously one of the brainiacs of the Rams offense last year, scheming every single wide receiver open, even if they're in double coverage. If it's full point PPR, I think I'm going to move Justin Jefferson right up there with Dalvin Cook and kind of just make a choice. I mean, a lot of people have keepers nowadays too. So if you have a running back keeper, maybe you pass on Dalvin Cook at 4 and you move to Jefferson there. So it's all personal preference. This is a 12-team mock draft that we're doing right now. Full point PPR. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 flex being a running back, wide receiver, and tight end. We're not doing kickers or defense. I don't think anybody cares for that type of content right now. So for you, I think you're taking Justin Jefferson. For everybody that is not our 2 spots, so Jason's in the 4-hole, I'm in the 10-hole. It is a snake draft. We are just going to take what the current ADP is right now. Consensus, so that's like Underdog, ESPN, Yahoo, all that stuff, all the drafts that have been done right now. We're just going to assign that player if it makes sense. So like if team 1 here, I'll show you the draft board in a second. If they have like 4 running backs in a row, obviously we're not going to take a 5th running back if that's what the ADP says. So we'll use some common sense here to kind of navigate our way through this draft. But let's kick it off, Jason. Who's going number 1 in drafts right now?
Look, number 1, it's typically Jonathan Taylor. Number 2, Christian McCaffrey. And number 3, Austin Eckler. A lot of people are kind of down on Eckler, but he still has tremendous upside too. So, he could go 3. I can definitely see Cooper Kupp, slotting into 3. If you go on your season-long rankings, you have Cooper Kupp number 1 in the PPR. So you can make the call at 3. Do you want to slide Eckler in there for the public pick at 3? Do you want to go Cooper Kupp? I would assume one of those 2 guys are next off the board. So you make the pick for 3 public. You surprised me. So I'm on edge. I'm sitting here waiting for pick 4. I know who I hope I want to get, but you surprised me. Let's see what happens.
I know who I would take here. I don't think I'm taking Austin Eckler in the 3 hole no matter what. I mean, the guy he was pretty healthy last year, played 15 games, only 16% or 62% of the snaps. Didn't even lead all running backs in targets. He was third there behind Najee Harris and Leonard Fournette. I think he's a lock to be top 3 in targets again this year. Maybe Aaron Jones gets a bump up there to compete with him in that 3 spot. But I think the public's going to just go with what they know. I think Cooper Kupp's going 3 overall once all is said and done here. So Cooper Kupp is 3. Jason, you're on the clock. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna go, and I agree with you, man. I was just talking about this on Sirius this past week. I'm high on the Rams. I'm high on Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's a guy that I want to snipe, a little bit later in this draft. But I want a wide receiver here, more so than Austin Eckler, and Justin Jefferson is the guy that I want it for. I'm almost ready to put Jefferson ahead of Cooper Kupp due to the tendonitis to Matthew Stafford. I think there's possibilities. He's in the same system that Cooper Kupp was in last year. He's got Kirk Cousins. I know Stafford's a better quarterback. He's got the rapport with Cooper Kupp going. They were, Super Bowl champs for a reason. So Kupp is there. Jefferson's there. I think 3 or 4, if you can get either of these two guys, you're in a prime spot. So let's go through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's get to your guys here. So assuming Eckler is going somewhere in this mix. Dalvin Cook is probably going somewhere in this mix. Derrick Henry, I don't know if he goes in this mix. Where do you think Derrick Henry ends up going in a PPR? And where would you actually want Derrick Henry in a PPR? Are you full fading him all first round? Or if it gets to pick 11 or 12, do you think Henry's in play again?
No, I think for me, I'm for sure not touching him unless it's round 2. And so I'm probably just not going to get any shares of Derrick Henry. That offensive line is brutal. You lose A.J. Brown. I know Julio Jones wasn't really a threat last year. I'm not a believer in that offense. I don't think they had any significant personnel changes. I will confirm that real quick. It's everybody from last year. I don't like it.
Ryan Tannehill. It's not looking good.
Yeah, no. So I'm not going to but apparently he's still going top 5 in ADP. I don't really trust it. I think Jamar Chase would go before him. So I'm going to give team 8 Jamar Chase. Team 9, Joe Mixon or Derrick Henry. Who do you think's going? Because I know what I'm doing. This affects my decision. So I'm going to be biased. We're going to go with the ADP right now, like we said we would.
Derrick Henry's I was going to snipe you and go Joe Mixon in front of you, but all right.
Team 10's taking Joe Mixon.
All right.
Who do we got left there? We got Devontae
Adams. Talk about Mixon for a second because he's probably one of the only backs that is not like really injury scared, and he's in a great system. He was heavily involved. There was nobody really fighting for, targets or time on the field. The only guy who's probably on the field more than him was Najee Harris at the running back position. And Mixon's in a way better offense, but Mixon is not sexy. Outside of like me and you and other people, he doesn't move well in ADP. So I think you might even be able to get Mixon later. Not to say I wouldn't take him at 10. I would have taken him at 10, but feel free to get Mixon at any time in this draft. 8 through 12, grab Mixon if you can, man.
Yeah, I think he's probably my favorite player. So I do love the 10 hole if he falls that far. Out of players, running backs, I should say, that started over 14 games last year, he was number 3 in snap share behind only Najee Harris and who we got here, Jonathan Taylor, and then it's Joe Mixon. So obviously Montgomery, Kamara, Dalvin Cook had higher snap shares, but they missed a lot of games, so we can't really use that into consideration here. But Joe Mixon kind of had an anti-pass role last year. I think that's going to Dalvin Cook finishes RB1. I'm not for me with Dalvin Cook with running backs, I don't love a change in system when they're so successful. Like the Dalvin Cook, I know Kevin O'Connell, like it's fantasy gold, everything that the Rams did there. But I'm not nervous for Dalvin Cook. Like if he fell to me at 10, I think I'd take him. I don't know if I'd take Mixon over Dalvin Cook. I think I'd probably just go the safer route in what we know in Dalvin Cook. But Like you said about Mixon, there was no one behind him. Samaje P, Ryan, Chris Evans, those guys are not going to scare me at all. But they did go to those two guys more on passing downs last year. But this offensive line is significantly improved. I think this is a team that's going to have a lot more leads instead of going into these shootouts last year and letting Joe Burrow really go. So I want Joe Mixon, and I want exposure to a team that is going to be in the red zone a lot for that touchdown variance. I know I'm not really going to project touchdowns, but in terms of these guys that are on the board, outside of Jonathan Taylor and maybe Dalvin Cook, is there anybody with more touchdown equity than Joe Mixon?
You're still going to talk McCaffrey. He's going to get those touches.
Yeah,
Eckler's going to see. Yeah, that offense is going to suck. Eckler has to see some regression, but he'll be in the mix there. Dalvin Cook in the mix there. But Mixon, for the timeshare, the offense he's on, the only potential downgrade you can maybe give Mixon, he's in a tough division with some good defenses, but that's like the only thing you can maybe hit him with. Other than that, man, great pick. Interesting though, 11 and 12. I think it's a question of Diggs versus Devontae Adams. That's like what I'd be thinking at in this spot.
I think
I got
both
Adams
go right here.
I would go Adams over Diggs, but where are you looking here?
I would personally go Diggs over Adams, I think, but it's hard. I mean, they're both great. I'm not going to really complain about anything there. So who do we got at 13 at ADP?
You got Travis Kelce going next, DeAndre Swift, Deebo Samuel, and we're probably going to gift you Saquon Barkley on our way back if you want him. But
I need a receiver soon. But all right, so you think Kelce goes early round 2 for sure, right?
Yeah, I think Kelce goes 13. Then there's some questions.
DeAndre Swift or Deebo?
Swift. Look, if the hype train around Detroit is going to grow by the second. I actually had a friendly bet.
Aren't they?
Yeah, I had a friendly bet with Sia last year. Before the season ended, I said, or after the season ended, maybe like early spring, we both made a bet against each other which really shitty team has a shot to win their division. Like, you got to take like the shittiest of them. I took the Lions, he took the Texans, and now I feel like a lot of people are jumping on the Lions, potentially making even the playoff bandwagon. They like Dan Campbell, but yeah, Kelce goes. I guess DeAndre Swift goes here. Based on ADP, he's around 14. Right. Debo's 15. I want no parts of Nick Chubb. He's at 16. But you're up next. You took a running back. So if you take a running back round 1, let's talk about strategy for a second. I think that's the most important thing that I'm going to break down here. If you take a round 1 running back, are you forcing a wide receiver? Are you okay with getting another running back? And vice versa. If you took a wide receiver, are you forcing a running back in the second round?
Well, it depends on what running back I have. If I have Joe Mixon, a guy that I know is going to be on the field for 3 downs, I think I'm happy just to go to a wide receiver 1 here. But to me, it depends on what wide receiver it is. So who do we have best available? It's going to be Deebo. I mean, he's a fantasy superstar. How many touches does that guy get in opportunities? I mean, he's part running back too. So I feel like I would likely go Deebo here, but I'm very interested in both. You called it Saquon Barkley and CeeDee Lamb. I feel like CeeDee Lamb is clearly the number 1. The only thing with CeeDee Lamb, he doesn't really get a ton of separation. And so it's like, I don't know, like if he gets not Cooper, like 70% of the targets Cooper Kupp gets last year, that's still like a wide receiver 1, clear as day. Yeah, so what do you think?
I'm a big Deebo. I'm a big Deebo guy. And I'm not a Cowboys. Cowboys just hurt everybody's feelings all the time. So like probably slightly into Deebo because I'm biased against Cowboys, but CeeDee Lamb probably has more upside because he's on an island by himself with Dak. So it's
and they throw the ball so many times.
Yeah, I think you're good either way.
I'm going CD because similar to what I said about Dalvin Cook, not really a change in scheme, but a change in quarterback. I still think, or I trust that Shanahan will do everything he can to get Deebo the ball. We saw it week in, week out. Anything that they could do to get that guy the ball, they did it. So, but I just feel safer with CeeDee Lamb. When I'm investing in a wide receiver, I know Deebo's kind of the anomaly here because he's part running back. San Francisco, my model projects them to throw it 29.1 times a game, which will be literally last, and that is exactly what Seattle did last year. So, like, when I'm talking to receiver, I would rather have Dallas, who's projected to throw 39.2 times a game, which is more than last year, and that would lead them to a top 5 pass attempt offense. I think I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb because of the shootout equity that they're likely to have. So we'll take Debo for Team 9 here real quick.
Debo, go DeAndre Swift, go
Swift is already gone. Who's next?
Nick Chubb, Kamara, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill.
There goes the running back. So, like, if you know who you're drafting with, maybe be aware of that, because I think there's a ton of wide receivers that, like, I'm okay if CeeDee Lamb was not my wide receiver 1, and we'll get a little bit later on who I'm okay with being my wide receiver 1. But what do we got at pick 20 ADP? Is it Barkley, Fournette, Mike Evans,
No, you still
Mark
got
Andrews?
Do you take Chubb and Kamara off?
They are gone.
Tyreek Hill, Javonte, Josh Allen, Mark Andrews, all those guys next.
Tyreek Hill's got to go. He's going to go mid-round 2 at the latest, I'd say. Then what are we got? You're up. All right. So looking at ADP right now, people are taking quarterbacks.
Is Javonte Williams, Josh Allen, Mark Andrews, then Barkley and Fournette. And when I tell you I love both Barkley and Fournette, you can make that pick for me. I think Barkley has extreme upside. I think he catches more passes this year than in years past. If Daniel Jones can get his shit together, they can score some touchdowns if he can stay healthy. Another great thing, I love Fournette in this spot too. I think Tampa Bay is going to score probably 25, 30 points a game, and that's why you might have a lean there that Fournette, slightly bigger build guy, maybe safer. If there was a way that we can trick the system to give me Barkley now and Fournette in a couple picks, I'd fall in love, but we got other picks there too. So I'm because I Barkley. I like Barkley a ton. So I've been on this for a while now. This guy,
he's the last running back left besides maybe David Montgomery, who we don't want to take anytime soon. Like, there's no one competing for snaps. Matt Breida, like, come on.
So
this
Barkley's
is
there,
backfield.
but I do like Fournette a bunch too. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, if you can get Fournette or Barkley late second round, I think you did great in the first round. If you got like a Jefferson or Cooper Kupp and you run it back late with Fournette or Barkley.
All right, so Team 3's got Cooper Kupp. Let's give them a running back who's the best available, Fournette or Javonte Williams.
I think Javonte is a bust. I think Javonte is going to see maybe 60% with, what's his name, Melvin Gordon behind him. That I don't think it's a lock. That
potentially he hurt his foot. We'll see what happens. They haven't.
If he's hurt, then you bump Javonte back up. So
we're taking Javonte here for this guy's going to go McCaffrey, Javonte. That's pretty nasty. We're going to give the Jonathan Taylor team Mark Andrews, and then who do we got left? Mike Evans. I mean, they need a wide receiver. Should we give him Mike Evans?
Give it to him. That's the guy I wanted, but you can give it to that nice
ADP. So you're gonna get sniped in drafts. This is gonna happen. So best players available based on ADP.
So Josh Allen is there at 22 right now. Keenan Allen at 27. AJ Brown at 28. Zeke. Connor.
I'm giving Keenan. This team needs a wide receiver. Keenan Allen is where I want to start my team in wide receiver 1 in PPR. So I was kind of in no man's land with CeeDee. I think I actually have Keenan Allen ranked ahead of CeeDee. No, I don't. I think he's right after CeeDee Lamb. But yeah, Keenan Allen's
you got Keenan Allen a couple. You got Keenan Allen at 19, CeeDee Lamb at 16.
Yeah.
So pretty much right on it there.
All right, who's this team taking? They got a decent balanced wide receiver, running back. What do you think? AJ Brown, T Higgins. What's the public saying that?
So Josh Allen is still on the board. I don't know if you want to put him there. He's been going 22.
There's always somebody in your league that reaches on quarterback, right? Yeah. All right, you're getting Josh Allen. You're back.
So now I'm back in here, and this is a spot that I keep on landing in, to be totally honest with you, where it's like AJ Brown, not in love. Zeke, I don't want on the team. Connor, he's probably the best guy here.
I'd say he's got the best opportunity.
Yeah, he's the best yeah, exactly. He's got the best opportunity here.
which
but
is
he
gross.
scares the shit out of me too. Like he's not like someone I'm like, oh, I want to get me some James Conner. I really don't want Zeke, and I don't really believe in Jalen Hurts' arm. So this is where I get stuck, and sometimes I just go best available on my board. But I want your opinion here because this is where I feel the most difficulty is in
It's a
round
tough
3.
pick.
It's a very tough pick in this spot. You know, who would you go? I want to lean on you for a second. Give me like your top 2 guys that you would go with at this spot because this would be the spot where if we were sharing a team like we do for Sirius XM every once in a while, I'd let you take the gamble here. And sometimes I understand why people take Josh Allen. Like Keenan Allen sounds amazing. Mike Evans sounds amazing. But like AJ Brown.
After that, it's this spot sucks.
Right there. Yeah.
It does. It sucks. The best guys available right now, according to ADP, is AJ Brown, Zeke Elliott, James Conner, T. Higgins, Patrick Mahomes, Dave Montgomery, Kyle Pitts. I think I like Cam Akers the most. And the reason why is because it's a McVay offense. They're going to score points. I know you're a little bit down on Stafford with the elbow concerns and everything like that, but there is no way that I think McVay said too, he's like, I'm confident that Darrell Henderson could be our RB1 again if we had to do it. But the second Cam Akers came back significantly earlier than we thought from that injury, he gave him a ton of run. I trust that offense. I know that offensive line lost Whitworth. That's obviously a huge hit, but I still think they're going to be pretty solid. They should have a top 10 offensive line and a top 2 scheme in McVay.
Let me ask you a question, Sticks. Let me ask you a question.
I know who my guy actually is, though. It's
Let me ask you a question, right? I don't like anybody in that range that we mentioned, right? Cam Akers, I do like it. I'm not down on Stafford. I'm actually like the biggest Stafford guy, but if he's hurt, that kind of worries me. And one guy I'm extremely high on is Allen Robinson. I really love the dude. I think he's going to blossom here.
I love him,
he's going to be
too.
amazing for him. You got him like 42 spots above ADP.
I stand by it.
You know, and I'm with you on this, right? So, like, is it better taking a guy where you might be able to get him in the next round and you might not? There might be someone sharp like you in my Win Daily League. Like, how high do you come off the ADP? It's kind of like DFS. Like, would you leave $1,000 on salary? Probably not. So you probably go up there and upgrade, but you probably would play maybe the wrong guy. With Allen Robinson here, do I feel better about Allen Robinson and A.J. Brown? I kind of do. Even though A.J. Brown's good, I kind of do. So, like, what's your thoughts on how high you'll grab somebody based on their current ADP?
So it sounds like you have no interest in any of the running backs available, correct?
I wouldn't say no interest. If you go with I don't want Zeke. I don't mind Kyle Pitts as a reach. I like Allen Robinson a lot. I like Akers, and I like Elijah Mitchell. I think Elijah Mitchell is a guy that
I know. Just read my paragraph right there. That's who I'm taking if he lasts to me in the ADP here.
Yeah, so Elijah, Cam Akers, I feel like they both are great situations for different reasons. So both those guys I like. Akers, I'm hearing some stuff. Darrell Henderson might be the guy behind it. So Elijah, I would take Elijah probably over Cam, and I would probably take Allen Robinson over A.J. Brown, but Robinson's a reach where I think I can maybe get him in the next round.
Okay. No, I mean, I don't. So if that happens, I'll be a spoiler alert. Unless DJ Moore would make it to me in the ADP, which I think it's going to be cutting it close, I will certainly be taking Elijah Mitchell, and then on the comeback, I'll be taking Allen Robinson. So if you don't like DJ Moore, and I'm not a DJ Moore guy, but Baker Mayfield,
I hate
tunnel
Baker,
vision. I know, but dude, he's really good, and he is going to get a ton of targets. So for PPR, I'm okay with. You got Justin Jefferson, so like you have a stud wide receiver. You just need some safe volume at that point, I think. But what are you going with?
Let's go with.
If you want your guy, like when the draft goes and it's like, okay, I don't like any of these guys, I think that's when you take your stance. Who are the guys that could win me a league? And I do like your idea of going to Allen Robinson because you're investing in a much more successful offense in a team that's going to be in a lot more games that have a 48, 49, 59 point.
Give me Allen Robinson. Let's jump the gun and seem like a maniac right now. Give me A-Rob.
All right. I mean, dude, the Panthers are going to be playing in games that have a total like 42 to 44 points all year long. The Rams are going to be up at 50s. You're just giving yourself a lot more clear success or path to success, I would say. So who's
So
next in
let's go
ADP?
AJ Brown. Let's just go chalk. AJ Brown, Zeke, James Conner, T. Higgins, Patrick Mahomes, David Montgomery, Kyle Pitts.
Patrick Mahomes. Where's Mahomes at? All right, you can clear that ADP board as we go. All right, I am up. So who does that leave me? AJ's gone. Oh, shit.
Elijah Mitchell is the guy you wanted, I believe.
Yeah, do you like Michael Pittman? I'm not a big Michael Pittman guy, but Matt Ryan, wide receiver
I didn't like
one.
what I saw on the field. Like my eye test of Pittman was nothing
Right,
amazing. But like he didn't really have a quarterback. He has an upgrade in a quarterback. I think they're gonna be a run and a defensive minded team. But like there's no bodies around him. So it's like he's gotta be thrown to. Big prospect out of, it's not a guy that like I'm in love with. Again, he's not sexy. He's kind of like the equivalent of AJ Brown and T. Higgins for me. It's like, he probably can't hurt you that much. He's probably better than we make him out to be, but nobody I get excited over personally.
Yeah. So the thing for me is
But he had big games last year.
Yeah, but in the wide receiver one. The wide receiver one for Matt Ryan consistently gets over a 25% target share. And this is a offense that we know is going to be able to put up some points. I hate it. I don't think I've drafted him one time, but I'm going to go with Michael Pittman in a PPR over Mike Williams. I think is next in ADP. I just want, if he's getting me 25% target share in a decent offense that could score points, he is a big body guy, get some touchdowns. I think he's just a safe pick in round 3. I don't love him. This is the first time I've ever drafted him. I haven't drafted him at best ball yet either. So it's kind of concerning, but I feel safe with that pick with kind of the team I got here. So who's next for team 11? They could take anything.
David Montgomery, Kyle Pitts. Based on ADP, it's Montgomery, Kyle Pitts, Akers, and Herbert coming back around, and ugly Antonio Gibson.
I'm going to give them Kyle Pitts because the team 12 already has Kelsey. They certainly wouldn't draft him. So who's up for team 12?
If it's after Kyle Pitts, David Montgomery, Cam Akers, Herbert.
We'll go David Montgomery because they need a running back. They probably need another one, so he'll take Cam Akers. Team 11 has one running back, one wide receiver, one tight end. They can take anything. I think they take another skill guy.
All right. Go with skill guy would be Antonio Gibson, Jalen Waddle, George Kittle, McLaurin, Deontay Johnson.
I think Deontay Johnson's kind of slept on. I'm gonna go DJ Moore here. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna see what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna see what happens for DJ Moore for me. So who's the best running back available? You said Gibson.
I don't like Gibson at all. I'm not playing Gibson. Josh Jacobs is behind Gibson. ATN, who's creeping up people's charts. He's a guy.
I'm gonna go with DJ Moore and pick in round 4 here, and then I have my 3 starting wide receivers, punting running back a little bit outside of Mixon, but I love the workload I'm getting there. I think that'll be fine, especially if some guys fall to me. Team 9, what do they got? Give me the next ADP.
Yeah, Herbert's still there. Antonio
Gibson already.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson, George Kittle, Jalen Waddle, McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Josh Jacobs.
Let's go Jacob. They need a running back, let's say. All right, team 8. They could use a running back as well. Maybe I should have gave. Let's undo that pick. Sorry.
ATN.
Mike Williams for team 9 here. Sorry. Gibson. Oh, shit. They got 2 running backs.
Gibson, ATN. Lamar Jackson still on the board. Herbert still on the board.
We'll do
ATN. James Robinson looks like he's coming back earlier than, people thought. So you might want to pump the brakes on ATN a little bit.
Yeah, whatever. We'll do it for this exercise. Team 6 and 7 need a wide receiver bed. We actually only skipped that. We're going Terry McLaurin and Cortland Sutton.
Deontay Johnson still there.
Team 5, what do they need? They need a running back. Give me the next best running back available.
Antonio Gibson still there.
We got Gibson already.
Elijah Mitchell gets sniped.
Yeah. It was. I didn't even take Mitchell when I talked him up so much.
J.K. Dobbins.
You're up. We got.
I would have took Elijah if it came back to me. No Kittle for me. I'm not a Jalen Waddle guy. Deontay Johnson.
You're in no man's land again.
Yeah, you screwed me again here. This is where I'm not like opposed to going and get Herbert or
Get
Lamar
Herbie.
Jackson.
Get Herbie.
Yeah, I go Herbert here. If he's still on the board here, like I don't like Kittle, I don't like Waddle. You see Tua made that pass today. It just looked gross as hell. Deontay Johnson, we don't even know. Mason Rudolph might be the quarterback. I don't want Kittle. I don't mind Lamar Jackson either. Like if he's there, late 4th round, cool with that. Yeah, so Kittle's still there. If somebody wants to reach on a tight end,
Let's
they
go
can
wide
right
receiver
ahead.
back for these guys. Actually, they're
Waddle,
well.
Deontay Johnson, Metcalf, Waller.
Let's say that they reached on Josh Allen. We'll give him George Kittle.
Yeah.
Who's next on ADP? We'll just go right down the board for the next two.
Waddle, Deontay Johnson, Metcalf.
Waddle in round 4 right now. That is disgusting. Deontay Johnson, I still don't get it. Team 1 needs a running back. Best running back available. Who we got?
J.K. Dobbins or Brees Hall?
I think Brees Hall. I don't think he's going to fall that. We'll go both back to back here. They don't need a running back. So they'll probably go quarterback or tight end. Lamar,
yeah. Or Waller.
We'll go Lamar. What do you think? Who's likely to go earlier, Waller or Lamar? I think there's a lot of buzz around the Las Vegas Raiders offense right now.
I love the Raiders offense. Either one, man. You can let this guy. Oh no, it doesn't even matter. I was gonna say let this guy take.
We'll give him Lamar.
Kittle's already taken. It don't matter. Give him Lamar, and then
Dobbins.
Next up, this guy can't. He's got to go Metcalf here.
Metcalf, Cooks, or Dobbins, I think.
You make the choice. Because I'm up next. I'm not going to tell you who I want.
Metcalf's got bye week 11, same as Fournette in the season long. I would somewhat consider that. I'd give him Dobbins round 10. Gives you a full, clean roster. All right, even though he's got Allen and Cooper Kupp. This is the first time we're doing this. We're on the fly here. Who are you taking?
Here, this is not sexy, but I think it's the right choice here. I'm going to go with Brandon Cooks, man. Nobody wants to touch this guy. He's a wide receiver 1. I actually think Davis Mills is a professional quarterback.
I like Davis. That's my week 1 stack, baby.
Yeah, he's a professional quarterback. You could reach for Sutton here, which is not a bad
Sutton's already gone.
Oh, Sutton's gone?
Yeah, I already put him on a team. I love Sutton.
So, look, Sutton, I was off Sutton with Patrick there, with Patrick out. Sutton's definitely a guy that might start creeping up the board here. But Brandon Cooks, man, he's going to get 1,000 yards. He's going to win people money in DFS every week, consistently getting catches. He doesn't get hurt somehow, even though he's like the smallest guy on the field. And he gets the job done. So I'm fine with grabbing him. I got my 3 wide receivers, Saquon Barkley and Herbert. I need some running back help. So kind of short there, but let's continue down the path.
Who's next in ADP? This team could take anybody.
If we haven't taken Metcalf, he's still sitting out there.
Metcalf's
somebody
going.
Will take him.
6 and 7 need wide receivers.
Well, Chris Godwin is next on there. Amari Cooper's next. Nobody still took Darren Waller. Jerry Judy's down there a little bit farther.
Team 8's going to take Waller. Team 9, running back. They need a running back bad. Josh Jacobs we still got out there somehow. We'll give him, right? Josh Jacobs or A.J. Dillon? Who goes earlier in drafts in your mind?
Josh Jacobs.
Okay. So I am up, and I need a running back. I don't mind. See, you know what? I wish I did wait on wide receivers because we'll talk about some of the guys I know you and I both love. But best running back available, what do we got? Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's going early. I kind of like A.J. Dillon a ton.
I'd probably go Hilaire here and hope to get some exposure to KC.
I'm going with Dillon just because the red zone upside. And I have such a strong PPR team with my 3 wide receivers. I'm going A.J. Dillon. I'm getting a little Packer in me.
There you go.
We need a wide receiver.
Judy, I like Judy over Amari Cooper, just the offense. Godwin is still out there, but they're not going to rush Godwin out there. Oh, you got Godwin off already?
Godwin and Cooper, yeah. Based on ADP, that's where they're at. So Jerry Judy's out there. Cooper's gone. Godwin's
You
gone.
got
Next
Kyler
best
Murray,
wide receiver.
Burrow, CEH, Hawkinson, Jalen Hurts, Marquise Brown, Damian Harris,
Let's
and
get
I'll
this
be down here
guy.
again.
Let's get Team 12, 2 wide receivers to finish off their roster. Gabe Davis
Oof, I like
and
that pick.
Hollywood Brown. Team 11 could take anything. Wide receiver 3 or quarterback?
Kyler Murray's still out there. Probably someone's going to take that, dude.
Let's go Kyler. Am I taking Jalen Hurts?
Are you taking Jalen Hurts?
So, all right. So here's my mindset. If this were to happen, I have no interest. Who is the top guys available? Kyler's gone. I do like Joe Burrow, and I'm okay with stacking them in season-long Joe Burrow and Mixon just because one way or another I'm getting the points in that offense that week. I hate Dalton Schultz. I'm not taking him. I don't love Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think he's more of a DFS play for me because he's not going to be high-owned. I love Hawkinson, and that's my question here is do I want to go – I got to take my boy. I'm sorry. I'm getting my flex or running back. I am taking Miles Sanders, who is my most drafted player in best ball. It'll probably kill me, but that's why I'm drafting him everywhere. I'm a believer. That offensive line is too good. He is too good. His yards per carry is insane. He's elusive. I just hope they throw him the damn ball one day. But quick question from Ivan here. What do you think of Breece Hall?
I hate the Jets.
I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, Michael Carter was effective last year. I know Breece Hall is a beast. The Jets' offensive line's not good. I don't really think Zach Wilson's that good. I just don't see how they when I draft running backs, especially if it's early, and let's say rounds 1 through 3 is early. I know we got Breece Hall in round 5, so I think that's a fine value. If he goes either, I'm cool with it, depending on your team needs at that point. I want running backs that are in good systems. I want guys that are going to see red zone touches. I know Miles Sanders last year hardly did, but A.J. Dillon and Mixon, from my team's perspective, those are teams that will be in the red zone. They're effective in the red zone. I want running backs that can score or at least don't have anybody behind them. I know Dillon does, so that's kind of a bad example, but I have so much stock in Joe Mixon that I think he's kind of 1.5 running backs this year. And with Jay's team here in the 4 hole, Saquon Barkley, there's absolutely no one behind him. So for Breece Hall, if he's a running back 2, I feel like he's a running back 2.5. I don't like him, and I don't think he's going to move up in my next edition of the rankings at all. You like anything about Breece Hall? I mean, he's good. He's a sexy player. Everything.
Jets. It's just the Jets,
exactly.
Man.
It's just the Jets.
Joe Flacco is probably should be their starter. When you're talking about Flacco as your highlighting camp, it's probably not a good look. Wilson, he's not going to be a quarterback for much longer in this league, I don't think. So that offense will move. They're going to try to win games defensively.
You think he's Darnold
games.
part 2?
Yeah, it's just going by the Jets' history of failure. There's a very good chance this guy's not going to work out.
History is not on your side drafting a Jet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And even in DFS, there was a couple times last year one of these wide receivers popped off, but they're just not going to score touchdowns. So I wouldn't overinvest in them. If you want to get, you're going to be in a situation every week where you want to start somebody over Breece Hall. That's the only worry. Dobbins going a couple picks before him, I think is a way better play. But you're up right now. Or actually, no, you're not up.
I just took Miles Sanders,
and
I love it. You hate it. I love it. I mean, Josh Johnson was the one that had through the huge game to Elijah Moore at Indy, right?
I don't remember, but yeah.
I think that was yeah. That's when I took down the Thursday through Monday contest that I never played, but I was I saw the ownership on. I love the matchup on the inside at Indy. But all right, moving on. Whose team 9 needs? They can take anything.
Quarterback. They got Dalton Schultz on the board. CEH, Hawkinson, Marquise Brown, Damian Harris, Amon St. Brown.
We got Hollywood
Adam Thielen.
I think we have to do that. Unfortunately, Adam Thielen, I love so much. Well, I don't know. Does Adam Thielen go before Dalton Schultz? I would do it 100 times out of 100. I have no.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Dalton Schultz ahead of him. I love a lot of tight end value late in drafts. So me personally, if I needed skill, and I'd probably go Thielen and St. Brown. I'm not really a Mooney guy with Justin Fields there.
It's kind of a nasty team. I'm not a Josh Jacobs guy, and I'm not a Derrick Henry guy this year. But if they play to their potential, that is a really, really good team.
That's a nice start right there, for sure.
Team 8, quarterback, wide receiver, running back. What do
Go
you
Joe
think?
Burrow. Make it easy. Get Burrow off the board.
Team 7 could take a wide receiver or quarterback
Wide receiver. I'm on
or
Ross
tight end.
St. Brown, I guess.
Let's say this guy's a Dallas homer or this girl, whoever's drafting Team 7, Zeke Elliott, and they'll take Dalton Schultz because they're a Cowboys homer. How about that?
There you go.
Now what do we got
You got
for
TJ Hawk, Clyde, Jalen Hurts. If he doesn't have a quarterback, it's probably a good spot to go grab Hurts.
Hurts? Team 5, they could take anything as well. They don't really need a wide receiver, so, well, yeah, whatever. Quarterback, tight end. This is probably Hawkinson territory, even though I want him. Team 4.
All right, so help me out. I need a running back. We got CH on the board, Damian Harris on the board. Lower than that, it gets really dirty with I'm not touching Kareem Hunt. You're hoping for a trade. Singletary, interesting. I don't know what to make of Singletary, to be completely honest.
I think he's the safest player on the board right now. If you need a running back, which at this point I think that's round 5 and on.
What's your thoughts about this kid Cook? Is he going to eat in? Is anybody else going to eat in? At the end of last year, Singletary actually showed some life. He's getting the touches early, but sell me on Singletary over CEH, because I think CEH, you have a very similar situation. You have shares of a great offense, and he's in that role right now, but he's got guys behind him that could sneak up and take his spot. You like Singletary over CEH here?
Yeah, I mean, I got Singletary projected for like a 10% target share, so it's not awful. It should be right around 55 targets, and then James Cook, I think we'll probably see right about the same. So I do get your concerns with Cook, but the red zone running back there is definitely going to be Devin Singletary, and he seemed to be an absolute beast with that. I think you go with the proven commodity, you get exposure to another great offense, and that's kind of the theme.
Click the button. Just so you know, your season-long rankings here, you got Hilaire in front of Singletary, so that's something that we got to keep an eye on here.
I know. I change every day.
Yeah, if he's creeping up, maybe I'll come back around. Maybe CH. If CH is still available on the comeback, maybe I'll take him and back him up.
Team 3 needs a wide receiver, so who's the best we got on the ADP?
Mooney's up there, even though I'm not really on the Mooney hype train.
I think this guy seems like if he's taking George Kittle and J.K. Dobbins and Leonard Fournette, he likes injury guys, so let's give him Michael Thomas.
I would actually take Michael Thomas over Mooney in that spot if it was myself. What?
Yeah, I think I'm with you too. Yeah. I would fade them both. I would just move later down the board to get somebody else. But Team 2, they could take anything.
You got, based on ADP, Hilaire, Damian Harris, DeAndre Hopkins, Dak Prescott,
it's got to be
Hunter
Clyde
Renfro.
At this time. It's got to be Clyde.
Clyde's off the board.
Team 1, they could take anything too.
They need a quarterback yet or no? No, they can take.
Yeah, they can use a QB.
Brady, Prescott are coming up. They could go out there and get Russell Wilson if they want to.
Dak's going before Russell Wilson.
Yes, sir. I don't like Dak, but I'd probably still take him over Russ too. Yeah, personally.
The public loves Dak. All right, Team 1 again on the comeback.
Wide receiver, I'd probably go here. So they would go Hunter Renfro, DeAndre Hopkins.
Let's go Bateman. He's up there too, isn't he, or no?
No, he's at 92. We still got people in the 70s still available. But if you want to go Bateman, I'll pull him off the board.
No, we'll go D-Hop. Even though he's suspended, but this team's got a pretty good team. Team 2. They could use another wide receiver or tight end.
Another wide receiver or tight end. Damian Harris, Hunter Renfro, Goddard.
Let's go Renfro. I hate Renfro. I want nothing to do with that guy.
Yeah.
Team 3, running back or wideout.
Damian Harris, Cordarrelle Patterson, Kareem Hunt, Rashard Penny.
Let's go Damian.
I probably would have taken there.
You're up. Tight end or wide receivers? Or tight end or running back? I'm taking.
What if you're in my spot right here?
Yeah, or I guess you could flex another wideout, get 4.
For me, let's see who's available on the board.
ADP would say Dallas
Run.
Goedert, Cordero, Kareem Hunt, Tom Brady, Rashad
What do you
Penny.
just for shits and giggles? What do you think Cordarrelle Patterson's life in the NFL this year is? I didn't play him once in DFS last year.
Neither
Is
did
he?
I.
Is he gonna be in a similar role to what he was last year?
I don't think so, no.
So who's gonna get those running back touches?
That offensive line is so bad. I mean, he's going to get running back touches. It's the same. Art Smith is still there, so he obviously loves him. So there's certainly fancy value in Cordell Patterson. I think they're going to eventually try to lean on Tyler Algier, but I don't know. I don't like that offense besides, the wide receiver.
Yeah, so I'm
name right now. I'm losing my mind.
I'm gonna
Drake London. Duh. Yeah, USC.
Yeah. I'm probably, since I don't like Cordarrelle Patterson, I don't want Kareem Hunt here. I don't really want Rashard Penny here. I need a running back. I would say running back more important here with only Barkley and Singletary. Who's your best running back on the board here, though? Because I don't like any of these guys at their current ADP. I might take a shot on Juju or a wide receiver here. I like some tight ends later that I'm hoping to get on a rebound. I like Zach Ertz a lot for my team, hoping to get him later. Running back, though, do you see a running back that you like at this spot?
I do. My model would, I ran again this morning with some more updates and more Snapshare information. I like in PPR, it would be Chase Edmonds for me if I had to choose a running back at your pick.
What's his role? What's his role for Miami? Just catching balls?
No, I think he's going to run the rock too. Raheem Mostert's really. I mean, they have Sony Michel. Like, it's a loaded backfield, so it's kind of it's a very risky pick. But I think in terms of PPR points, he will certainly get you there. I got him for a 16% target share, which is crazy high for running backs. Not crazy high, but that's up there. That's like damn near Eckler. I mean, let's see what Eckler's target share was last year. 19% if you round up. So 16% is like that's pretty good production out of a running back. If I'm close, I mean, say I'm bad and it's 13%, that's still pretty damn good. Or you could just handcuff Singletary right now and get James Cook, and then you have the Buffalo Bills, one of the best offenses in football, backfield solidified, unless all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, you know what?
And Edmonds got paid. Edmonds did get paid. They're going to use him. That's a good point. I like my model would say Edmonds, but it just makes me want to throw up in my mouth. But if your mindset is I'm taking a running back here no matter what, it's going to be Edmonds for me.
All right, put Edmonds on the board for me, man. I'll trust you on this one. In this mock, I'm not an Edmonds guy here.
There's no dollars invested in this draft. Give me. So we'll take Edmonds off our ADP board. All right, this team could use anything besides tight end. So QB, running back, wide receiver, whatever.
Let's just go off the board here. Let's get this thing moving. You got Cordarrelle, Kareem Hunt, Tom Brady, Rashard Penny, Russell Wilson.
Give me a wide receiver for Team 6.
I was probably going to take Juju in that spot. I was thinking about taking him over the running back. So take off Juju. What do you need next?
Quarterback. So let's go Brady here.
Brady's gone.
This team needs a wide receiver, Team 8.
Wide receiver, Elijah Moore, Devontae Smith, Tyler Lockett, Rashad Bateman.
I'm going to give him Bateman. I think there's a lot of love for him. Team 9 could use tight end. So this is probably Goddard, huh?
Got it, yep.
All right, Team 10. I have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. Oh, man, who's available?
Aaron Rodgers?
No, I'm not taking
Aaron Rodgers. Oh, it's actually your team?
It's my team, yeah. Oh, man, this is tough.
Tight end and quarterback is what
I don't love forcing my picks. I love my team, but I have some holes here. What tight end's available? I mean, if Zach Ertz is healthy, as far as we know, well, actually, looking at the guys next to me, they don't have a tight end. I'm going to take Russell Wilson.
There you go.
I like that. I absolutely love that. Wide receiver for Team 11.
Elijah Moore, Devontae Smith, Tyler Lockett.
We'll go Devonta Smith. He's got some name. And then Quarterback for Team 12.
Aaron
That's why I
Rodgers.
take Russ. I feel like, all right, Rodgers. Rodgers is going in front of Stafford right now?
Yep. Slightly.
Team 12 on the comeback. Probably running back. What do you got?
Kareem Hunt, Rashard Penny, Tony Pollard.
Let's assume Penny's injury is not bad. We'll take him. Team 11. Go running back again. Get them number 3.
Just get Kareem Hunt out of there.
Kareem, get him out. All right. There was someone I really wanted here. I think I'm going to go Zach Ertz. I think that's
Ertz?
one. Yeah, assuming he is healthy too. Again, that's
I
the
love
name of this
Ertz.
game.
I love him. I think he's one of the guys I want to grab as
Let's finish off this round and we'll call it a show. So Team 9 would need, I don't know, what do you think? They have 3 running backs. Definitely need 3 wide receivers. I'm sorry. I guess best available. Is there a no-doubter type of play here?
Tony Pollard, you can take.
I feel like the Zeke guy would reach on Pollard, but if he's going that early, we'll give him Pollard. What are your thoughts on Tony Pollard? Do you like Zeke in that whole situation? I feel like
I don't want to play that game. The only way I take Zeke if he falls to me in the 4th round and nobody wants him. I think round 3 is still too early. I'd rather try to get Elijah Mitchell, ATN, Akers in the 4th round over even Zeke. So pretty much out on Zeke because I think he's going to go before I want him.
Okay. Let's give this guy a running back. So let's go Melvin Gordon's probably about due. If he's not hurt bad, I know he hurt his foot. We'll see what happens. Wide receiver for Team 7. Elijah Moore is available.
Yeah,
right?
take Moore off the board. Tyler Lockett, Stafford is there.
They got a quarterback, so we'll go. What about Darnell Mooney? I would take Allen Lazard over all those guys for what it's worth. I absolutely love
Mooney's
Allen
definitely going before that. There's so much hype about Mooney.
All right, we'll get them 4 wide receivers. He's got a quarterback. Could use a tight end soon. Team 5 needs a quarterback. So who is it?
It is nobody.
Stafford.
Stafford, yeah.
He's taking Stafford. Jason, you have a pretty good team. Are you going tight end here, or you're not? Or are you just going to punt at this point? Because who is the best tight end available?
Just rounding it out, Dawson Knox is available. I really like Knox. So just to round out this team, I would go Dawson Knox. I do like Drake London. I think there's a lot of upside with London too, getting maybe a Jamar
You're
Chase.
Not taking Allen Lazard here. You're taking Dawson Knox over Allen Lazard. No, there's no chance you're doing that. Dawson Knox, come on.
All right, you want to sell me on
Yeah, dude. I
love a lot of tight ends later. I
have Mike Gesicki ranked higher, so you're slapping me in the face.
I don't want Gesicki. I knew you were gonna say that. I don't want anybody with 2 or throwing the ball. I really just don't want that action. Tight end wise though, just a quick rant. I had a guy on who covers the Patriots said, look out for Hunter Henry. He's going to be the number 1 target in that offense. I think
Cole Kmet. Too.
Yeah, Cole Kmet is going to be a check down monster with Justin Fields. He's in a great spot. Gerald Everett, get him so late in drafts. So give me.
You also
Allen
said
Lazard.
that about Jaron Cook though last year, so you're biased on the Chargers tight end, even though it's really never a thing. So I don't like that situation. I love
Irv Smith in a decent spot.
He's hurt.
Higbee in a great spot. So yeah, give me Lazard so I can put him on the board and you can hype me up and tell me I got the best team ever.
You do.
Even though I got Justin Jefferson,
if you run it back with Gesicki. If you run it back with Gesicki. You have great wide receivers. I guess. See, you're going to need one in week 7. You need another receiver because you got Cooks and Lazard. Team 3, they could use wide receiver. Give us the best one left.
Wide receiver based on ADP. Drake London.
We can go through round 9. Finish it off.
Tyler Lockett, Drake London, Brandon Ayuk.
All right, we'll give this team. This team's going to take your boy Knox, even though it's the biggest reach in the world. Team 1, running back for Team 1. They need one bad.
Running back, maybe take Ken Walker.
Yeah,
take a shot on Walker.
Let's do Walker. Running it back, he probably, I don't know, will take another one. What about Ramondre? That dude's getting a lot of hype.
Yeah, go Ramondre. That's fine.
Patriots running back, solid. I know McDaniels is gone, so you don't know what to expect. That's my problem with Josh Jacobs, too, is McDaniels also played a huge role in this whole fantasy thing about Patriots running back. So be aware if you're investing in Josh Jacobs. Team 2, I'd say get him another wide receiver. Brandon
Did you
Ayuk
take
or
Lockett
Amon-Ra?
off the board yet? Lockett, Drake London,
Lockett's
Ayuk,
gone. Yep, Lockett's gone. Ayuk is not.
London, Ayuk.
All right, we'll go London. This team could use another receiver. They'll take Ayuk. You're back on the board. Still no tight end, but the rest is absolutely loaded for you.
Yeah.
You got the Packers wide receiver 1 in round 8. I think that's one of the guys.
I think it's
is an absolute steal for me.
The move to do right now, I'm kind of feeling is I'm a little bit weak here at running back, if anything, with just Saquon, Singletary, and Edmonds. So I like to protect Singletary and go Cook here in case Cook becomes the real deal and just becomes the guy. I have the running back from Buffalo, unless it ends up being Zach Moss somehow. We don't have to play that game right now.
It will not be Zach Moss. All right. Best wide receiver available for Team 5.
Wide receiver available.
Amon-Ra. We got Amon-Ra. We got to take him off.
Oh, he's still out there?
Yeah. Let's go. Dawson Knox. We already played.
Robert Woods is out there. Christian Kirk, people are on. James Robinson will start climbing up, the board here. Your boy Gesicki's still there. Fryer
Robinson. They got tight end, so we're good here. The Team 6 needs Gesicki on the comeback, I think. Team 8 could use another running back or wide receiver. Who's best available?
Christian Kirk, Robert Woods.
Just drafted Christian Kirk.
James Robinson, Michael Carter's up there. Treylon Burks, maybe getting some hype. I don't know.
We'll go Treylon Burks. Why not? I think he's got asthma issues. So look into that. No, seriously. Radio was talking about it, and then I followed a Tennessee beat writer, said it's not good. This guy could use another running back if Tony Pollard and Josh Jacobs, so we'll go James Robinson. Oh, we already did take James Robinson. Who's
Ramondre's off the board.
He's gone too.
Kadarius Toney, I do like potentially for some upside.
Olave or Toney? Who would you take?
I also had a New Orleans beat writer, so I'd probably say trust in Jameis passing wise over maybe Daniel Jones, or probably go Olave. But what's your thoughts? Quick question for Olave. You got Michael Thomas is going to be back and Jarvis Landry there, but Jameis Winston is more of a deep ball passer. Is that more Olave's game? If you get any shares of New Orleans passing game, who are you taking?
Olave for sure. I want the X. Jameis isn't really a big slot guy, and that's Michael Thomas is certainly not a true X receiver. He can't run deep routes with his shit.
Yeah, so it's a lot. That's what the
same with Jarvis. They drafted Olave for a reason, and I trust Carmichael a ton. He's the offensive coordinator, has been there throughout all of Peyton's tenure too before he left, and they kept him on. So I think that means a lot. And he's a genius. They score a ton of points even with bad teams. So I know he's not like a sexy household name or anything, but I'm really surprised he didn't get a head coaching job or anything else when Peyton left. I figured he would go off do his own thing, but yeah, I would much rather have Olave. I think Kadarius Toney's awesome, and I really trust Dabble. And then who'd they pick up as their OC? The Kansas City guy, right? The quarterback's coach, I think. I should know all this by heart at this point. I've been reading way too much and studying these schemes, but Mike Kafka, he's a Kansas City QB coach. So if that means anything to you for Kadarius Toney and Daniel Jones, you're getting a little bit of the KC magic maybe, but Olave or Kadarius Toney?
I would say take the upside with Olave.
Me too.
Toney probably has a lower floor. I mean, a higher floor, more consistent, but Olave has that upside. And Jameis, his passing props are pretty high compared to Daniel Jones.
It's because they respect that offense. All right, so I am in kind of no man's land here. I don't mind Michael Carter, like I said, but I don't really want any Jets. I have no interest in Robert Woods. Chase Claypool, I love the talent, hate the situation. I do like Chase Claypool, but I can't draft him in round 9. I think I'm going to go. I would reach here. Like, I would literally take my guy right now. But I don't have to, so that's the issue too. I'm gonna do it. I am taking Mecole Hardman every time in round 9
You
or
had to do an extra round for us just to get McCall Harmon in
yeah, I
this.
usually take him in round 8.
You
But yeah,
serious?
no, oh yeah, dude, I truly
Oh my
believe he's
god!
gonna have 18 to 22% target share and get schemed in the red zone like Tyreek Hill did. He's
Talk
got the
about
most.
Kansas City. All right, don't go crazy with McCall Harmon talk, but Kansas City is an offense that everybody is trying to figure out.
It's
Where
the
do you see
same
these
offense.
targets going? It's okay. Kelsey gets X,
He'll get
and then
his
what?
absolutely. I think you're going to see a split between Juju and Mecole Hardman. I think they're. I truly believe Hardman's going to step up a ton.
Sky Moore just sitting on the sidelines, not catching any passes.
I think Sky Moore will be more of a slot guy, and Mahomes doesn't really abuse that spot. So I want the guys on the outside, the guys that go in motion. And I think the most advanced route tree out of all these guys, even when what we saw in Georgia, is Mecole Hardman. I think Juju was obviously he's had huge years. He has more of a factor of AB taking coverage away from him. And he's never really been that good on the outside. So Juju was great when he was in the slot. So Pringles with the Bears. Who was asking? Yeah, I think he's a wide receiver 1 on the Bears. There's some problem. Oh, outside of Mooney, sorry. So wide receiver 2. I think he's hurt too. But whatever is going on with the Bears is pretty bad.
Let's
Yeah,
finish off.
I
Let's
truly believe in
finish off
Hardman, and I
round
believe in this
9.
offense.
Finish off round 9. I want to do a lightning round for a couple names. Put you on the spot. I don't get too much time with you, even though that we're going to be trying to do a weekly show for DFS where me and you break down a DFS slate on Wednesdays or Tuesdays. We haven't picked a date, but going to try to hold you to it. Have Sia stop by, Adam stop by, everybody else. But we're going to be doing our weekday draft. We're always going to have our Sunday DFS draft as well. But I want to use some lightning round questions. And anybody wants to see, our rankings, you can break it down by quarterback, wide receiver, running back, the whole situation. Overall, there are notes in here. We're going to continuously update this. I have Stix's scouting report. You can go from full point PPR, half point PPR, standard, whatever it is. We got you covered. And if you want to use promo code STIX, STIX22 right now, you also get a free month to use these projections, use our, articles, expert chat, and all that. So get in there for free for a month. So make sure you do that. But Stix, I want to hit you with kind of a lightning round type of questions. And the first guy I want to talk about are the young guys at the running back position, Rachaad White, Dameon Pierce, or any running backs who are rookies that you think by the end of the year they're going to have a real role in this offense?
I don't know what to expect with Rachaad White. So that one's tough. It's very hard to handicap that situation for me personally. So that is a team I'm actively messing around with. I don't have Rachaad White very high at all, but I think Dameon Pierce has the best chance to actually become a running back 1 or a fantasy, let's say running back 2.5. Like he'll be startable for sure. I think they're going to give Marlon Mack the load early. So if you need like a DFS sleeper, probably wouldn't play him against Indy, but maybe on FanDuel if he's like min price and you want some potential touchdown equity. It is a division game. Both these teams are going to know how to play each other. So I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think Marlon Mack's a pretty – you could do worse than Marlon Mack in week 1 on FanDuel where it's not full point PPR, but that'd probably be my guy. I mean, Kenneth Walker can potentially be into a number 1 role here. It sounds like Rashad Penny already hurt his hamstrings. So there's no surprise there. They're going to run the ball
no
so
shares of
much.
Seattle over here. No shares of Seattle. I want no shares of Seattle. I really don't want too much of Carolina with Baker, even though there are some spots there where obviously McCaffrey and DJ Moore. I think Robbie Anderson very, 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 very late could pop some upside. Sure. 2 running backs that I'm hearing a lot more hype of recently. Nyheim Hines going to be involved.
Hines. Absolutely. Yeah.
He's going to be involved pass catching. And if Jonathan Taylor, anything happens to him, God forbid, Hines is going to have to step up. And then also Kenneth Gainwell, man. Like I know you're high on Miles Sanders, but I'm hearing a lot of good chatter around Gainwell too. Guys that you can take late that can pop. But Couple more questions before we get out of here. Now on a wide receiver, I know you mentioned you love McCole Hardman. You got him 17 spots ahead. You were kind of down on some of the other KC guys, Juju, because
I'll
you're
be moving
high on
Juju.
Hardman.
I'm moving Juju up. I realized I messed that one up a little bit. I think I'm going to have him above Devontae Parker there, but he's still going to be down in terms of overall. I will project Hardman to be slightly over him, I think, but I'll probably move Juju up right by Hardman.
Are you keeping MVS in front of Sky Moore? Are there any benefits are trying to nail that third guy for KC? Are you investing in KC this year? Outside of a guy like Hardman, is there anything outside of Kelsey and CEH that you're taking shots on?
No, I mean in best ball, I'll just stack everybody. I'm not a Sky Moore guy. I just don't see how he's going to get on the field that much. He's never caught a pass from Patrick Mahomes. It sounds like they're not giving him a ton of looks in camp too. Preseason talk is almost irrelevant, but it does get to people. It does affect ADP. Scantling's a proven NFL wide receiver. He really only runs a go route and a comeback. So again, I think his route tree is limited to where I think Juju's is a little more advanced and Hardman's is certainly more advanced. But it's still the Kansas City Chiefs offense, the same personnel. Everything there is good. It's still Bieniemy. It's still Andy Reid. It's still fantasy gold. It's harder to project where it's going. I truly believe it's going to be Hardman. I think Juju's going to have a great year too. Kelsey obviously is going to be a star. I think you just draft him while you can before he gets too old and we kind of forget about him. But CEH, I still think is a running back one. They'll probably give him the last chance to do it. But that running back situation is probably a mess. I don't really want Ronald Jones. I know this Pacheco guy's getting a ton of steam as well. I don't think I really want to invest in that. But I think it's certainly CEH's job to lose, but he has not shown us much throughout his
Last
career.
question of the night, and I gotta go do an MLB live stream right after this. So if you guys want to get into the Friday night slate, we're gonna break that down in a second with Adam. But talk about Julio Jones. Talk about this Tampa offense.
No,
Who
not talking
shares
about
do you
Julio
want?
Jones.
And then, the people want to talk about Julio Jones. He
Are
made
people
a
actually
catch.
drafting Julio?
I think so. I think they know
What's
his
his
name.
ADP on here?
They know his name, so they're going to draft him. And
167 his ADP right now.
Talk about Julio for a second, and then talk about the guys you're just taking shots on late. I mean, like the guys that you're trying to grab in the last couple of rounds, since we didn't cover the last couple of rounds. Just some names. You don't have to go into brief, in deep detail. Brief why you're grabbing these guys late.
I mean, Julio Jones, I don't think there's much upside there. I know Tom Brady probably handpicked him to be there. Real quick thoughts on Damian Harris and Cordero. If you do rewind, we kind of touched on both of them. There's a question in the chat there. Sorry. I do like Tyler Algier as a late guy to draft, so that kind of touches on Atlanta. That offensive line is just terrible. But some guys that I'm going for after late, I love the value in Kenny Galladay. I think his price is way too cheap. You're probably not going to get a ton with him. He's going to be hurt. But if he could stay healthy, he is such a good, talented wide receiver. I do like Wan'Dale Robinson as well there. I think I just trust Dabble. And we already talked about a Kafka coming over for KC. So they're going to have a pretty interesting offense. It's going to be reliant on if Daniel Jones is competent or not. McCole Hardman obviously is someone I'm going to reach for all the time. I do think MVS is worth a flyer. You never know. Good bench player there. Evan Ingram for Jacksonville. I don't hate that. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about late guys. What about Kenyon Drake going 191? Patriots running backs our thing with McDaniels, and he's there now. So like this isn't Josh Jacobs' role, and I know.
Yeah, Jacobs. Look, he can lose that role as long as Drake is healthy. I want shares of that offense.
Player, man.
I believe in Carr. I don't mind. I'll put it out there. I've been taking bets against everybody on Sirius. I'll take Derek Carr as my QB1 any day of the week. I have no problems rolling him out every week. I think he's going to be fine in that offense.
Their offense sucks.
You got all the pieces, and you're in the division against KC and, teams that are going to have to put up points to win games. You got the Chargers there too. So I think the Raiders are going to be playing from behind, and they're going to have to score a bunch of points. So I want shares of Vegas as well. And I think grabbing Devontae, if you can, obviously is the spot you want to get to. But Carr is probably going to be the safest and best value of that entire offense. So that's one of my hot takes. Any last hot takes before we get out of here?
Yeah, I guess a couple more guys that I'm targeting late in drafts. I think Joshua Palmer, if anything were to happen to Keenan Allen, he's going to run the exact same routes. They played him a ton in the slot and outside last year, which is what they do with Keenan. What are your thoughts on Cameron Brate? Like Tom Brady tight ends, it's a thing, but I know
you still got, they drafted a couple dudes, and one thing I'll just throw out there, I'm not saying it's actually going to happen.
they
Could
got
you
the
see?
Minnesota old tight end.
No, can you see them sliding Julio in a tight end slot?
Hell no, he would get blown up in blocking. Absolutely not. He would die. Like not
You think
die. That's horrible to say. I think
he's
he
got
would
the
break in half.
85. He kind of looks like a tight end now. Like
Is
Kyle
he
Pitts
getting? Is
does
he getting
it.
chubby?
Yeah, I wouldn't say chubby, but he just looks like a little bulkier, maybe a
No,
little bit more.
Julio Jones is not coming back to play football to block
No,
defensive
but
ends.
forget
There's no
blocking. Like, what
chance.
if he
No.
just goes out and runs routes at the tight end slot?
Well, so he'd play the slot. I don't know. I don't think he wants to get hit by safeties and linebackers in the middle of the field either.
Yeah, it's just
I
a
think he's going to
thought.
stop running his route, claim his hamstring hurts if he sees footsteps coming. Big. Sorry, Tom. I'm getting too old. No deal. What about KJ Osborne? Again, like other we talk so
Osborne's a
much
guy
about.
that, yeah, we had a guy on Sirius about 2 weeks ago who covers Minnesota. CEO is really high on Osborne, and yeah, he's gonna be the third guy up. He's showed from what this guy was saying, he's been doing his work in camp. He's right behind Thielen for targets. Thielen is going to be a guy that overperformed this year. He mentioned. We know about Justin Jefferson. Osborne's definitely got to reach on late because if they start spreading this team out a little bit wider, Osborne's going to be a lot in that personnel, and he will be someone that has upside. It wouldn't be shocking if Osborne goes ahead of Thielen and gets more targets, more yardage, and all that. So I like that, Cole.
All right, my last sleeper, and I will take him in every single draft that
Nico
I do.
Collins.
Damn it, I was going to give you a hint and be like, you drafted his teammate. It
I
is
know
Nico
you
Collins.
too well, bro. I don't need to
Yeah.
talk to you for like 6 months and know what you're about to say still.
He's a monster, 6'4". They traded up to get him. People forget that. They're like, oh, one bad year. He barely played last year, so like it's not a bad year. And he sat out his senior year for the COVID year at Michigan. He is an absolute star. I don't know if Davis Mills is the answer for him, but there will be a bright day for Nico Collins. So if you're in a dynasty league or anything like that, scoop him up. And I got to move Josh Palmer up too. I have not. Oh, you don't have the updated ones. I did it Monday. I forgot to send them in. But,
yeah, Nico
I'll fix
Collins. I get it. I think Robbie.
Like, what do you have to lose in the last round?
Yeah, Robbie Anderson, Brian Edwards. I think Rondell Moore is another guy they drafted and they want to do stuff with, and he seemed like he has the talent and the speed.
He's
right
always
there.
hurt too, though.
Yeah, Sky Moore, possibility. I love the tight ends late. I've been grabbing. I typically grab all those late tight ends, like we mentioned. No, I want none of Evan Ingram. No, that's something I'll be against you on.
What about Hayden Hurst?
Hayden Hurst, extreme value with Hayden Hurst. I would take him over Cameron Brate. I don't know what Tampa Bay is going to do with tight end, so I'd rather take the short thing. And Hayden Hurst, I think Gerald Everett for Chargers, great spot. Hunter Henry, great spot. Higbee,
I like
great
Brevin
spot.
Jordan too. I like Houston, and I don't ever like Houston. I don't know what my deal. I think it's because I'm just set
defense.
that I'm stacking them in week 1 because they're going to get their ass kicked and just throw it all the time.
Yeah, bad defense, garbage time, and Davis Mills keeps teams in games. So that's why I don't mind Brandon Cooks early. But let's get out of here. I got to flip the conversation to the MLB. Nick, I hope we do this every single week of the DFS season. We'll be updating our season-long rankings. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. Appreciate everybody chilling for the last hour as we went through this entire board for the most part. And we'll be doing this every single week as soon as we get closer to the NFL season. So lock in with us. Nick is a beast when it comes to DFS and all that. So lock in with us at windailysports.com. We'll be back. Obviously, if you're playing golf, good luck. Check out the Better Golf podcast. Check out everything that we're doing in MLB.
Siwoo Kim. Need him to finish.
All right, man. Take it down. We are out of here.